Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the NXT review for the 24th of um, August 2010. These are slogs to get through for sure, but we're gonna do it. I want to get all 500 of these up and about. The last show that was the elimination, I believe, of Husky Harris, close to the end of the season. They waste so much time on this show, and I understand it's an internet show, so there isn't as much pressure to be productive. But with so many entertainment choices, even 10 or 11 years ago, to waste people's time, it just seems ineffective and inefficient and unnecessary. Anyway, all the pros come out. You know, Alex Riley continues to talk about him being the standout. Curtis Axel, aka Michael McGillicuddy, talks about ultimately being having the most wins in competitions and such, and basically being a guy who everyone should take seriously because he's second generation. Everybody kind of goes at each other. Caval talks about wanting to be a standout guy, and then Cody Rhodes kind of mocks his uh, or mocks Caval, basically says he doesn't have what's necessary to make it and all of that. MVP gets up in his face, and basically the idea being that the various pros are having dissension around everybody and everything. And I mean, then they do a complete trivia challenge, lots of questions around that. I mean, I won't run through every question, but suffice to say, Alex Riley doesn't even get involved until the very end. I think he mentions a McMahon question, and then we kind of see Caval is the more successful in the trivia contest. We've got a hype for a MVP and Cody Rhodes match, which to me, when you have matches of that nature, you don't really have a lot of faith in your pros, as it were. Then we go into hype for the Raw existing program. I mean, first match of the show that's exclusive content is 25 minutes into a 45-minute program. Basically, the whole program is, for lack of a better term, a waste of time when it comes to actual wrestling content. Although the match between MVP and Cody Rhodes is decent, as one would expect. Rhodes continues to be in control of the contest, and ultimately very basic moves, arm ringers, arm bars. MVP takes him down. MVP sends his man off, comes back with hip tosses. MVP does throw better strikes than the average guy in the time period, just more realistic looking punches, and also does selling better than lots of folks, not everybody. Clothesline over the top rope, and MVP wearing the breathe right strips. I always wondered, never had the chance to ask fellow workers if the breathe right strips actually made too much of a difference or not in their actual breathing or ability to be okay in matches. But anyway, hard clothesline by MVP. Cody Rhodes comes up, cuts MVP off, and kind of stays on. It's amazing to me that 11 years later, we're looking at Cody Rhodes as a main guy in the opposition company. I think WWE always missed the boat on Rhodes. I'm actually going to look forward to going back to the Raw and SmackDown when he was in his prime, in however long it takes to get there. But then we see Cody kind of hooking up on his adversary. Modified chin lock that looks kind of sloppy. They really are not that impressed with the process of kind of going at each other here. Crossface along the way tries to get a submission victory. Rhodes also uses the arm and traditionalized head scissors. Slower match than normal. Then they go to the top rope, almost setting up for some sort of superplex. Doesn't get what he wants on that, does Cody. MVP fights out, and a gut kind of a gut wrench around the circle. Doesn't get Neither one gets all they want on that. Kind of pulling back on it, and ultimately, Cody is a little sloppy with some elbow drops, giving MVP the chance to get back a little bit. Flapjack type maneuver by MVP. Rhodes comes up and goes right at his adversary. Here doesn't get everything together, but Rhodes does hit the crossroads and eventually gets the victory. With about a minute left in the program, that will close us for today. Some of these will be shorter than others. We'll be back with more right after this.